Hi guys, it's Joanna Schmidt. So I'd love to dispel a myth about animal communication and how it works. So I'm often asked the question if I can talk with an animal and just tell them not to be afraid, be it of a situation, a noise, a particular person, or an area of the house, or say a dressage ring. And it's really interesting and to me in that the question comes from this place of like a heart sense of wanting our animals to feel safe in the world. And for the most part, animal communication, yes, we can help with fear with animals, absolutely. But the way we do it isn't as simple as just telling the animal not to be afraid. And let me share what I mean by this is, let's put it in human terms for a moment, is if you or I are feeling afraid, and let's put it into everyday context, right? Because a lot of us are feeling afraid. We're feeling anxious, we're feeling nervous, and we're feeling unsure about what's going on in the environment and politics and in the world. And if we were to go to a trusted advisor, and that trusted advisor were to listen to our fears and hear everything that we're afraid of, and if their response would be, oh gosh, that is scary, and I'm so sorry you're afraid. But what I want to tell you is, it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. And I've surveyed a bunch of people who love you, and they all agree that they don't want you to be afraid of this thing. Our response may be that we would be shooting steam out of our ears. We may shoot lasers out of our eyes and feel unheard, unseen, and gosh, we may even feel worried that our fear and anxiety isn't valid. So when we feel it, we may feel worry on top of that, like, oh gosh, I shouldn't be feeling this, but I am, and now what do I do? So in that situation, we may be left feeling fear and anxious and extra worry and concern about the people who love us, because they feel that we're doing something that we shouldn't be doing, right? You following me? So with animal communication, and the way that I work with animal communication is I take the path of, in that situation, being the trusted advisor, telling the animal, just like I would want to receive a session from a trusted advisor, is I tell the animal, I listen first, I listen to all of the aspects of their fear, I hear all of the confusion and concern of the different variables and the different triggers. I listen and I take it in and I witness it. And then I share with that animal how much I understand it is to be afraid. And we talk about that a little bit. And that's where the value of being an empath comes in, is we can sit with the other being and just express the acknowledgement of, I understand. And then from there, we unpack it a little bit. Not to get to the juicy bits to fix, to be able to say, I don't want you to be afraid of this thing. But rather, we look for other things to focus on. So in the case, say, of an animal, say of a dog who is afraid of being in new situations, I may ask the dog questions about, well, what in those situations feels the safest to you? And we look at that and we create a plan for them and their person to build up that which feels safe. If it's, I may also ask and reevaluate with the animal, with the dog, what their job and role is in the world for their person, and how we can reevaluate that so it enhances gifts that they may forget that they have, be it helping the person feel confident or loved or supported, or helping the person get into new situations that they may not be comfortable with. And that gives the animal something else to focus on versus the fear. And it's a longer approach. It takes longer. We certainly can't do that in 30 minutes and 15 minutes. Sometimes it takes an hour. Sometimes it takes an hour and a half. and sometimes it takes a couple of sessions, but fear and anxiety in animals, just like with us, it's a big deal. It's not something that we can just say they're there and have it be done. That can certainly be soothing for us as a human to tell our own animal that they're okay and they're safe. It can be soothing for an animal communicator to say they're there, it's safe. But those kind of things, just like with us, when we're feeling anxious and afraid, they're wonderful Band-Aids. They're really great. It's like a pat on the back and say, oh, you're safe right now in this moment. But it doesn't address the bigger picture. So that's the myth I would love to dispel and remind you that there is always as much going on under the surface with our animals as there is with us, in their physical body, in their emotional body, in their spirit body. So perhaps you'll be looking at your animals a little bit differently this evening. And if you're curious about working with me, you can check me out on my website. It's joannaschmidt.com. I work with animal communication, I work with shamanism, and a fair amount with energetic preventative care and energetic boundaries as well. All right, thanks so much for watching. Have a great day.